Being in the here and now, feeling good and being satisfied and at peace, that is like the foundational goal of life. So once you find that, you're already at the end. You're already at the top of the mountain. Now, beyond that is all icing on the cake. So that's what we're talking about today, is the icing on the cake. Hey, welcome to Conscious Casey. Glad you're here. If this is your first time joining, welcome. If you like consciousness talks, living your best life, finding peace and harmony in your life, subscribe to the channel. So today we're talking about, well, I'm always talking about living your best life, okay? I'm always talking about feeling good and getting to the life that you want to live. You know, first, love yourself, be your own best friend, deal with the traumas, feel your feelings, get to a place of peace and harmony. And I have other videos that help you get to that place. And this is going the next stretch of the journey of life, and that's expanding life, and that's experiencing life and all its beauty and glory, and getting to just really feeling life to its fullest, experiencing life to its fullest. All right, so that's what we'll say down here. This is full expression. What is the opposite of depression? Expression. Full expression of life. So this is like your goal. And this is where you're at today. This is you right here. Okay? Today we have peace, love, gratitude. We never leave these three things in the past: peace, love, and gratitude. That's today. We're doing okay. We got a smile on the face. All right. We have this goal out in front of us, where we want to be, how we want our life to be. That comes with relationships. That's outside things. So this is inside: peace, love, and gratitude. And these are outside things that are nice to have, okay? Relationships, money, travel, career, your housing situation, or whatever it is. That's the goal down here, all right? And this is where we're starting from. And then we have these steps, right, to get to the goal, all right? We're enjoying the journey, and we're, coming to this. This is like we get to the end of our life and we're like, damn, that was a good life, and let go and fall off into the grave. Like, that's this. And this looks different for everybody. Maybe this is just having, like a little garden and your family. Like that could be your full expression of life. Maybe it has a well and you're like sustaining off the land, and that's your goal of life. Maybe this is owning your own business and providing a service and making a lot of money and going on a lot of vacations and travel and meeting other people and stuff. Like, maybe that's your full expression of your goal. Or maybe it's running a nonprofit and helping like homeless people or serving people with food, and we want to live this life of service, which all lives should be lived in service. But I'm saying in that kind of vein, maybe that's your full expression. This could be anything. Okay, so the first step to this is vision. What does this look like to you? What is your full expression of life to you? Get your vision and take your time with it, and sit down with your journal or sit down in your meditation. Like, use some free time. I'm bored, I'm not going to scroll today. I'm going to actually, start designing my future. That's what we're doing here. Reality by design. We're going to find out what does it feel like? What does it feel like to be in this full expression? What do my relationships look like? How do I conduct myself? What do I wear? How does it feel? Where do I go? What do I have? Like that's this full expression of your goal. One is vision. Okay? And once we have that vision, this vision can be refined and changed and reversioned. Like that's been my experience. I think I want something. I design the goal and I write it down, and then I start reaffirming it. I start acting towards it and taking inspired action, which we'll get to that in a moment. But then the goal kind of changes and it's like, hey, you know what? That doesn't really feel resonant to me anymore. And when I say resonant, that means like it doesn't feel right in my body and mind. It's like that feels a little off. Let's tweak that a little bit. Actually, that wasn't as important as I thought. This is more important. So your vision can change as time goes on. Okay, so once we get the vision of the future, number two, we gotta pull out the old faith card here. If you don't believe that this is possible, then you're never gonna get there. Okay? We have to have faith that this is a possibility for us. Once we have faith as a once we have faith that it's possible, it's definitely in the realm of achievement. All right. I can't remember if it's the 4-minute mile or the 5-minute mile, but one of those, like, the whole world thought that's not possible, you know? And then once somebody broke it, I think it was the 5-minute mile. That seems like not that fast, but maybe it was the 4-minute mile. Once somebody broke it and everybody believed, their belief changed, somebody did break it. I guess it is possible. People the next few years broke that record. It's all about belief. If you believe, then you can achieve. I know that's cheesy. I don't really care. Believe what you can do. The cell phone was a belief at one point. The airplanes was a belief. I believe that this can happen. And eventually it did happen. But it all starts from the mind. We create a vision in the mind. We use our imagination. This is something that all the other creatures in the world, on the earth, in our environment, don't use. They don't use the imagination and a vision of the future to create. We are powerful creators. You're a powerful creator. You can literally design the life that you want, and it all starts here. Then we have faith. Faith is a feeling. Faith is a feeling. It's an emotional feeling. And I have another video on emotional vibrations, when everything is vibrating in our world. And once you get on the right frequency of your vision with faith, this becomes more realized in the external world. Number three, action. All right. This is so crucial because if you just imagine and you have faith that it happens and you do nothing, nothing will happen. You must be working in the world. You must be interacting with people or making that connection or making the phone call or signing up here or developing the skill. Whatever it is that you get led to do after you get your vision, the action needs to come next. All right? Let's dive in a little bit deeper in this. How does this happen? This does not have to be an arduous process. It does not have to be a hard process to get to this. We do it with ease. How do we do it with ease? You see people, you got to work hard. You got to do the hardest things. It does take action. It does take consistency. It does take some discipline. But the steps to get here will be lit up for you. And this is how we do that. It's already built into our mind. Reticular activating system. All right, RAS. All right, and it's the function of this in the mind, in the brain, is to filter your reality to what's important. Our minds are literally goal achieving machines. The RAS, once we've impressed the mind with our vision and we mix it with faith and emotion, the RAS says this is important. We will light up the things in the reality, in our senses, that we need to get to achieve this goal. So it lights up our senses around us to the things that pertain to our goal. And the amount of visioning and work and faith that you put into that, this becomes stronger. You know, if you'll also find that on your way, the right circumstances, the right people, the right things that you see in your reality will be lit up for you. The RAS filters what gets through to conscious awareness. And it also filters about what can be ignored and also what feels important, urgent, or relevant. So once we get this vision, this goal, we mix it with faith, we start taking action, the RAS is going to start lighting up. So you're in a situation at a coffee shop and you're ordering your coffee and these people are talking next to you and they're like talking about even the minutest thing related to your goal. Your RAS is like, listen to this coming in. And then you're like, hey, I was just talking about going to Italy. And they're like, yeah, we're chartering a boat tomorrow. Do you want to go? I'm just saying, like, that's how these things kind of work. Maybe you're scanning through a news feed or something, and something points you intuitively to this post, and you click it, and it's like an ad for a job that, you know, will lead you down the path to your full expression of life. That's what the RAS does. Have you ever been looking for a car and then you see that car everywhere around you, or maybe like a truck with like a semi or a train with a stamp on it for the company, and then you start seeing that everywhere? That's the RAS in action. The RAS prioritizes your goals, your beliefs. So those are the strongest thoughts and emotions, and thoughts have energy behind them. So the more you revision your future, the more faith you mix in with it that you're going to get to it, and the more action you take, the faster you will achieve your goal. All right, I'm going to leave it there today. I wish you well on your expansion of consciousness. I love you. I'll see you in the next video.